parallel in a sense, but more radial. So if you consider this an orbit in time, right? So our entire universe is orbiting a greater center at an acceleration towards center at light speed. Because of that, we have, so basically when it comes to perception, the rawest creation of perception, what we have is a consciousness and we have a field of energy. So the experience that gets manifested is based off of our accelerative reference frame, right? That's the experience we all undergo, is essentially our accelerative reference frame in relationship to a field of energy. And so here you could just say that we're orbiting a greater center, right? And so we actually have an orbit, and that determines the length of the universe based off of the expansion of the universe. So your distance from center of time determines the expansion of the universe, because that's essentially the gravitational field you'd be undergoing. And our humanly experience, a 20 hertz beta center exists at 25 miles away from the center of time. And so then you have inner rings of perception and outer rings of perception. I call the inner ring, our universe only wouldn't even fully be interacting with it unless there was, because they're orbiting into more inside, or there'd be a universe orbiting more outside. But if you have a magnetic vortex with the proper 4-to-1 stretch ratio, well, hey, now all of a sudden that ring perfectly harmonizes with human consciousness.
I've always been curious how you worked out the math on these orbits, the radiuses and all that.
Well, the easiest way to think of it is like, what is a harmonic, right? What is an EM pulse? And essentially, anytime something rotates one time, it makes a pulse. And so in the crystal of time, I say that there's habitable zones that are related to acceleration towards center at light speed. And so if you have a 1 hertz wave, that means it has to orbit this greater center 1 time per second with an acceleration towards center at light speed. So that gives you a specific diameter for each conscious harmonic or each type of electromagnetic manifestation within our universe. And so you could say that the delta wave is the 1 hertz, is 1 times 10 to the 7 meters. The beta wave state is 20 hertz, and that would be 25 miles sphere. And so what I think is wild is how that relates to, I'm going to sound wild here about the whole flat Earth theory, because when you think about that view, now our entire experience is flattened. We live in a 25-mile sphere, and there would be an inner ring of perception and an outer ring of perception. And people are saying when they're at the 80 hertz beta state, gamma state, they're interacting with elves and beings from the inner Earth. I mean, it almost like makes perfect sense to me at this point that that's kind of what's happening. And it's almost undeniable. I mean, I wrote a 343-page book because I was pretty confident. But like, I really don't know. I've never been in inner Earth. I've never been outer Earth. I'm on Earth. I've meditated, and I've thought about it.